a graceful figure paired with a neat bob, wild glints shining in her eyes. Every bit of her catered to Taro's tastes. Taro seemed to see the African savanna behind the woman, and she was like a wild beast trapped in a human body, ready to break free at any moment. Taro followed the woman into the swimming pool, desperate to see the wildness hidden beneath her clothes. But Taro's boldness drew her attention. Thankfully, a recruitment notice on the wall diffused his embarrassment. But they were hiring swimming coaches, and naturally needed to assess applicants' professional skills before hiring. At the sound of a whistle, Taro leaped into the pool, showcasing cringeworthy swimming skills under everyone's gaze. That vigorous and agile figure couldn't help but make people give him a big thumbs up. After one lap, Taro, having swallowed much water, still had the nerve to ask how he did. The result was predictable. Seeing he wasn't hired, Taro urgently begged for a chance, saying he'd even do odd jobs. Just then, the woman Taro had followed stepped forward, revealing she was the pool's director, and refused to hire Taro. But Taro turned the tables, challenging her to a swimming match in a month. He said anyone who refused to hire him now wasn't fit to teach. Taro's words sparked the director's competitiveness, and she urged him to continue. He then offered to work and learn there without pay. If he won in a month, she must hire him as a coach. If he lost, he'd work for free for a year. Knowing it was reverse psychology, the director agreed anyway. But Taro didn't know she was an Olympic champion. So Taro stayed. His job was to help kids get used to water, and help them overcome their fears. Though Taro had come for the woman, the lovely kids made him grow to love the job. In his free time, Taro actively learned to swim. But accidents happen: motion sickness, vomiting, nose picking, and even incontinence. Though childish, he got used to it. Taro quickly bonded with the kids, but his quirky antics caught the director's eye. One day, after seeing off the last student, the exhausted Taro turned to see the director calling him. Overjoyed, Taro thought she would praise him, but she disliked his childish teaching, saying it wasn't a nursery and parents pay for real instruction. Though Taro tried to argue, the director only cared about results. Due to their differing philosophies, Taro reiterated he'd beat her in a month. Seeing his confidence, she left without another word. The next day, the director was strictly training the team, and Taro thought the students looked like trained dolphins. She was their strict trainer. Taro couldn't resist the urge to be trained, eager for her to coach him. From her contemptuous look, it was clear she didn't take the match seriously, even thinking he was flirting. But she was impressed by Taro's progress. A month ago, he was a dog paddling novice. Now he adapted to swimming. After practice, Taro was tired, but the director asked if he wanted to keep swimming. Taro said he was tired but happy to swim. This touched the director, who leaped over his head, saying she'd acknowledge him as a man if he could catch her. Taro was moved, thinking she did it for him, and swam forward with gusto. Not sure what he saw, Taro suddenly widened his eyes, feeling energized and swimming harder. But the director suddenly slowed down. Then, for some reason, she stopped shyly, praising Taro. Though caught, she wouldn't concede, saying she only used half her strength. But as she spoke, she seemed to notice something.
What were you thinking about in the sanctuary of the pool?
Thus Taro was kicked out, standing innocently in the cold. Knowing the director was angry, he had to leave, planning to return when she calmed down. One day, she noticed an unusually high number of beginners advancing, and her colleagues said it was due to new teaching methods. They went to the pool, where kids were playing a ring-grabbing game. Even water-phobic kids could dip their faces in easily. Some even slept in the water, relaxing their bodies and improving breath-holding. Watching the happy kids, the director remembered swimming with her father for the first time. When she fell in love with swimming, she wondered if her methods had been too rigid. She asked who devised the methods, And the answer was Taro, whom she'd kicked out. Before she could respond, she was interrupted. Her colleagues said parents had come to thank them. A mother and daughter who thanked her, saying their child now loved swimming. But to her surprise, the kid wanted to thank Taro. In that moment, she knew she had lost completely. She urgently wanted to find Taro, but it was too late. For Taro had already started another journey. As countless girls awaited his salvation,